a multicultural, creative neighborhood with a vibrant nightlife. This is Nolo, also known as north of Loreto, from a working-class neighborhood to a pole of attraction for young people, artists, and designers. Today, it is one of the liveliest and most vibrant areas of the city. And yet, Nolo does not have enough affordable housing. From 2016, when the name Nolo first started to gain popularity, the changes in the physical environment also started to become more prominent, as a response to the attention and interest that the neighborhood was acquiring. In an article from immobiliare.it, they talk about the neighborhoods to keep an eye out for house hunt, stating that Nolo, which was already a symbol of the wild gentrification that has affected some of the areas of the city over the years, grew even further in 2020. Comparing to 2021, the neighborhoods of Precoto and Turro had an increase of prices of around 8.4%, while between Rovereto and Pasteur, it went up 7.6%. The neighborhood has become the protagonist of significant urban changes, largely thanks to big-scale projects, one of them being the requalification of the Piazzale Loreto, to transform the city's most chaotic traffic hub into a large green agora. Projects like this are catalysts to further regenerate the area, stimulating other kinds of projects, such as housing transformations. Housing transformations are nothing new to Nolo, as there are many buildings that have had some sort of change over the past few years. And still, thanks to the new urban regenerations, we can see more and more new projects in the streets of Nolo. With a quick look around the neighborhood, we can identify 4 main categories of housing transformations: facade maintenance, demolition and construction, addition of a floor, and energy requalification. This means that the more frequently seen transformations tend to be either simply adding a fresh coat of paint, or more complex projects, like adding an entire new floor to the top of a building. There are even bigger and more ambitious projects, like completely demolishing an old building to construct new apartment buildings. With this surge of new transformations, we can't help but wonder how these would affect not only the housing supply of Nolo, but also the people living there. To have an idea what kind of changes we're dealing with, we can do a quick search on immobiliare.it. By checking the new constructions box, and after selecting the chosen area, we can now have an initial outlook at what kind of new projects are happening all around Nolo. And most importantly, the price tag attached to them, which can go all the way up to hundreds of thousands of euros. But while the physical environment keeps prospering, the social-economical atmosphere of Nolo does not show the same signs. Looking at this map of the neighborhoods of Milan, we can see that in 2020, Nolo remained on the side of the lowest incomes, with an annual average salary of only 24,887 euros, almost 4 times less than the most highly paid areas of the city, making it clear that there is a huge gap between a client from outside or one from inside of Nolo. Honestly, these days trying to access housing in Nolo is almost like playing Monopoly. You're just roaming around looking for a house, hoping not to land on a high-rent property. According to OMI, a branch of the Agenzia delle Entrate that collects a database related to the national housing market, the cost per square meter of residential properties in this area have more than doubled, both in rental and in purchase modalities, which is a tremendous increase over just the last few years.
Non so se prima era 600 il monolocale, adesso siamo su 700, sempre oltre le spese che le spese adesso poi sono altissime e quindi diventa impegnativo, perché le spese che prima erano sui 130 magari per un monolocale, un bilocale 130, adesso arriviamo su 200 perché appunto è il riscaldamento. Qua molte case non hanno il riscaldamento autonomo, ce l'hanno magari centralizzato e quindi ha un aumento di prezzo abbastanza notevole.
But if we want to know how these housing transformations play a role in the housing market, we can take advantage of the Agencias delle Entrates portal, where we can have a look at the transactions that happen in certain areas, and more specifically, for exactly how much the different typologies of apartments were sold for, when the buildings had not yet suffered any transformations. This is when reality hits. Are these projects even affordable for the existing low-income households of Nolo, or are they actually changing the social dynamics of the neighborhood? Measuring affordability has always been a difficult task, as its definition can vary tremendously depending on different variables. To put it simply, affordability is usually defined either in terms of the ratio of income to house prices, or the proportion of income to mortgage repayments or rent. As a general rule of thumb, we can say that if the cost of accessing or maintaining a shelter should only be around a maximum of 60% of the total income of the household, leaving a minimum of 40% for other experiences such as education and leisure, it means that in Nolo each household should only spend around 1,244 euros per month on housing alone.
Sono aumentati tanto e quindi in effetti tendono a rimanere nel quartiere magari acquistando, perché gli affitti veramente qua sono molto alti e non c'è nulla.
With the rent prices being so high, most would agree that the best option would be to buy. But in Nolo's case, even if owning a property is the goal, it is easier said than done. Especially if the new projects continue to follow trends without any regard for its surroundings. If these housing trends persist, the market will be saturated with expensive properties, meaning that the prices of the ones that remain available will have more chances of also increasing due to the high demand. If it continues like this, someone coming from a different neighborhood with a higher income may easily access the housing market of Nolo without spending an amount of money that would have had a strong impact on their finances. After all of this, it becomes clear that the housing dimension in Nolo is shifting. And if that's the case, this might lead to the possibility that low-income households can no longer afford to buy a house in Nolo. Or even worse, force them out of the neighborhood to move to less expensive areas of the city.